Hey everybody, Vicky Fitch here, your direct sales expert. I am coming to you live from kind of sunny, kind of overcast Southern California. So I appreciate you guys being here. Welcome to the broadcast. We got a lot to talk about today, right? Today's topic is about hope. Now, hope is kind of one of those tricky topics, right? Because people see hope in different ways. Hey, Jason, welcome to the broadcast. People see hope in different ways. And if you guys are new to the broadcast, please make sure to put your name in the chat so I can see you. Hey, Jason, thanks for being here. And make sure you hit the share button. If you guys we're part of my regular Perry Peeps, my Facebook fans, my YouTube followers, I appreciate you guys being here. So let's talk about hope because hope is kind of like feels like it's lost a little bit right now. It looks like, and by the way, my Facebook peeps, it says that they are having trouble sending the message to Facebook. So if that's the case, I am super sorry that you guys are having that trouble, but hopefully we'll at least my I don't know. It's telling me that it did not go live to Facebook. So I may just be hanging out with you, my Perry peeps. Excuse me. But and maybe my YouTube fans. So you guys hopefully we'll play this or I'll upload it to Facebook later. I don't know what's going on. But let's talk about hope because hope is an important piece of what we do every day. Right now things are discouraging. Put a one in the chat box if you agree. Things are a little discouraging right now. People are feeling overwhelmed. Oh, it's working. Yay. Thanks, Barb. It's telling me that it's not, but I'm super glad that it is. That there's difficulty in the world today, right? We've got COVID things going on. We've got politicians that are maybe overreaching. There are people that are yelling and judging each other. We got the masks and the unmasks, and people that are colliding and creating chaos, right? And so I get the reasons, and I'm 100% in agreement that we need to voice our opinions. Anybody who knows me knows I'm super vocal, and I share my opinions all the time of what I think and what I believe, because I think that is not only our right but our obligation to make sure that we're sharing. But I think we should be sharing with an open mind, and that's one of the things that I really try to do on each broadcast and each post. I ask questions because everybody has a skewed perspective, right? Our perspective is skewed by what we know, what we've done, what we've experienced, who we've met. I mean, Dr. Phil always says we are a product of our own environment, and it's the truth. We are a product of our own environment. And so we have to recognize that we have in my book, Direct Selling 101, I talk about filters, right? And that we're filtered by our personal experiences. So the only way we can change that viewpoint or adjust our vantage point is by listening and having conversations. And that's one of the things that I really try hard to do. And so today we want to talk about hope, right? And how we take these trials and these tragedies, or maybe they're just tribulations, that they're difficulties, they're hiccups that we're experiencing, and we find a way to make them, turn them to what I call bright side thinking and turn them to our advantage. So if you're going to go through something, you got to find the good in it, right? We have to find the benefit. It doesn't mean that it's a good thing. It means we have to make the choice to find the good in it if we want to grow as people and to not wallow in self-pity. And hey, Jason, so YouTube's working too. Thanks, Jason. That we don't want to wallow in our self-pity. We don't want to wallow in the experiences and drag others down, right? So, and I want to make sure that this part is super clear, is that we should all, in my personal opinion, and this is my opinion, you guys are welcome to share yours, we should all be able to voice our opinions. Censorship is a big thing. Many of you know I just got out of Facebook jail. Apparently, maybe I'm not all the way out of Facebook jail because it looks like it won't go into on my page. It's only going into one of my groups and on my profile. But I was stuck in Facebook jail for several days, and I'm not even sure why. It said there was suspicious activity on my account, and I'm bringing this around to a point, so I want you guys to know that. And by the way, if you haven't already, hit the share button because this is a great topic. Hope is something we all need, and I'm going to give you guys some direction and clarity on how we can all start coming together and stop trying to annihilate each other and stop destroying the other people that are around us, because it doesn't help. It's lagging a bit. Okay, thanks. Thank you, Copper Boy or Jason. That we have to start looking at things differently. Hope is important because if we feel hopeless, that's where we're seeing, there's spikes in suicide and people are feeling dejected and overwhelmed. It's been cited that there's increases in domestic abuse where people are stuck at home and in situations that are uncomfortable. And so, we have to look at the best way, and the best way is for us to have a conversation. So, is it the best for us to rip each other apart? Last week I did a thing. Hey, long duck, welcome. I did a thing on the people, some people in the media that have been identifying that people that are not wearing masks are your enemy, right? We need to kind of band together. I mean, if we're going to bring hope, right, and we're going to be bright side thinking, there are advantages to what's happening, right? And again, I'm not saying, hey, let's seek these out, but I'm saying when you are in a circumstance, you've got to look for the bright side. And the bright side here is maybe that you've been getting some projects done at home. Maybe you've been spending more family time or learning a new skill. So focus on the bright side part. Focus on the opportunity, not on the distraction, not on the trial, not on the difficulty, because what that does is spiral us down into letting some other bullies come into our head and we start feeding off them, right? Resentment, fear, doubt, shame, overwhelm. Those things are not supportive to our immune system. They're not supportive to our free thinking and our opportunity to, hey, how can I come through this, right? The HCI, how can I come through this differently? How can I become a different person on the other side, one that's better and more equipped, and one that's maybe more empathetic and more educated in an area of expertise or an area that you want to grow in. So let's look for the bright side and create hope, because there is hope. There's always hope. Now, I happen to be a believer. You don't have to be a believer. And so I have my hope in Jesus Christ. But you can put your hope somewhere else. Now, I highly recommend that you check out Jesus because he's pretty cool. But you have to have hope. When we lose hope, it's when we let go, right? We let go and we stop caring, and people start spiraling into depressions. And then that's where it's not just the economy that's going down, but it's then, it's the health of our public, the physical health. Even without the virus around, it's our physical health and our mental health and our emotional health. When those things start to deteriorate, life gets chaotic for everyone. And that's where we start the spiral of disappointment and discouragement and overwhelm can really seize a city, a county, a nation, right? Hey, Ashley, welcome to the broadcast. And we got to change that. So how can you be a hope dealer? Like, my clients call me hope dealer. If you guys don't know that, like, if you're new to the broadcast, by the way, if you haven't hit the subscribe button or the going live notification button, I hope that you guys will choose to do that. And I hope you'll choose to hit the share button as well. Usually I go on at 6 p.m. Pacific, and I'm trying this week to go on in the mornings and see if that helps some people, because I know there's been a lot going on, and so we're just kind of checking it out and seeing how I can serve. And again, I apologize for those. I'll try and upload this. As a matter of fact, maybe if I wonder if I can tag my business page and it will show up there. No. It says that broadcast was deleted on that page or something. I don't know. So Barb, if you're still here, would you let me know? Because it's telling me that it got deleted, but I don't know if it did or not. Okay, so coming back around here and saying, how do we provide hope, right? And number one is, and again, I'm not suggesting when people are literally violating laws, violating your space, or putting you in harm or in danger. Thanks, Barb. Or putting you in harm and danger, that this applies to. But when I see that local areas are suggesting that we should knock off our neighbors for doing things, I just wonder if we really feel like that's supportive and creating hope. If someone's literally, if you know that they are sick or infected or are literally harming somebody, that's completely different than seeing your neighbor walk around. And this is in different state, or at least I say not different state, different county. My county, we do not have to wear masks anymore. But in LA County, here in California, you're required to wear them all the time. And they have hotlines and tip lines for you to report anyone that isn't. And I just want to ask you if you think that's supportive or conducive to creating, unity, right? Because don't we want to help our neighbors and help people, like literal neighbors, like my neighbors. I have the greatest neighbors. I love my neighborhood. And I wonder how we can be more supportive. Like for me, I'd like to bring, like, we have citrus in our backyard. I like to bring citrus and drop it off on the neighbors' porches, right? And you can do a doorbell ditch, knock, 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 and leave a little gift for your neighbors, because do something nice for your neighbor's day. I think it was just the other day. We do our calendar so far in advance that sometimes I forget. But can't we do something nice for our neighbors every day? Can't we do something again? Because when we create hope, when we create kindness and a opportunity for nurturing, we start to build up our own strength, our own courage, and even our immunity. Your immune system is motivated like by the acts that we do because it's related. And I'm not a scientist, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, but from what I understand, those endorphins that are released, like just like stress hormones, like cortisol kind of gives you belly fat. Laughing releases endorphins that helps you become healthier. It's the same thing. The good acts that make you feel good, or helping a neighbor, helping a friend. I was walking down the street a couple of weeks ago because we take our family walks, and we had our masks. It was still at a time when we had to wear masks, and there was another gentleman and his grandson that were walking around the neighborhood as well. And the the grandfather may have been intoxicated. Okay, I'm just not judging, just seemed to be perhaps intoxicated, and his little 3-year-old grandson fell and did a face plant on the ground, right? And he starts kind of crying, and his knees messed up. Hey, Mountain Mouse, welcome to the broadcast. And you know, current and again, you guys can call, I guess, and report me, although it was several weeks ago, but under the current standard at that time, technically I wasn't allowed to touch this child, right? I mean, I'm supposed to say 6 feet away, and we've got this whole social distancing thing. But I wonder, I mean, I'm just asking, what do you think? I mean, what would you do? Would you go and help the child, or would you just keep your hands off because of social distancing? I mean, I'm just asking. I'd love to know what you think, and I'd love for you guys to put it in the answers. Now, for me, I'm sure anybody that knows me knows what I did. I walked over and I picked the child up and I dusted him off and connected with him, because you don't leave, in my opinion, you don't leave a child scared and lonely. You don't leave a child face planted and injured. Like, he wasn't deathly ill. I mean, this was not something that was going to kill him, but emotionally, we have to be there for each other. And so that's part of creating hope, is when you see someone who's down, when you see someone who needs your help. I don't know. I'm not telling you to defy your own government. I'm not telling you to do anything different, but I'm asking you to ask yourself a question. If your child, or if you were a little child of 3 years old, face planted, like literally he slipped and smacked his face into this. It was a lot of dirt and some, it was a dirt planter. I mean, he didn't, like I said, you would help the child. Thanks, Ashley. He didn't make his nose bloody or anything like that. It was, like I said, it was a softer thing, but he skinned up his knee because it hit the curb, and his shoe flew off. And, it's just like, it was very disorienting for him. He was just a little boy. And, he just sat there and he started to cry, like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it just reminded me that that's the way a lot of people feel right now. People are feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm not allowed to help. Now, grandpa, he could have, yelled at me, screamed at me, and called the police on me, right? For touching his grandchild. But I think sometimes, and again, I am not suggesting any of you should break the law. I'm not suggesting any of you should do this. I'm asking you to ask yourself some questions. What would you want to happen if that was your child? Would you want people to just leave them there and go, sorry, I'm not allowed to help? What if they actually passed out? Would we help them? What if they weren't breathing? Would we give them mouth to mouth resuscitation? Uh, you know, if we're not empathetic, if we forget to use empathy, if we forget to use hope, and if we forget to use courage as an opportunity here, then we won't find the bright side, because we'll end up stuck in the ocean of overwhelm or the depths of discouragement. And that is not going to support us as a nation, as a country, as a world. It won't support us. We have to be different, and we have to, move forward and respect boundaries. But I think, like I said, it's not like the child said, "Don't touch me." It was like he was looking for someone. As a matter of fact, he wanted me to pick him up, and I picked him up and set him on his feet and dusted him off. I didn't want to overstep the boundary with the grandparent and assuming that wasn't okay. Other than that, I would have picked him up and held him, right? And if he continued to cry, I would have bent down and just hugged him. And again, feel free to report me or do whatever you need to do. Like, because if life in the US or the world becomes where we can't comfort our brothers and sisters and especially small children, then I think we better look at it a little differently and say, holy Toledo, when did we become that nation? When did we become those people that, that forget how to comfort others? And like I said, reporting people that are literally doing something wrong or trying to hurt other people, that's I get it. But there was people reporting, did you know that in one state, and I don't remember which one, I mentioned it the other day, people reported a nail technician for doing her sister's nails in her home, and she got arrested from what I understand. I did not research that. But even if it wasn't true, let's just say theoretically it was. Do we need to report that? Is it because you're mad at them? And like I said, this is part of bright side thinking, is to change the negative connotations that are in our brain. Like, this is my opportunity to get back at someone. If your motive is to hurt someone and not to help, then you should check your motive at the door, right? That's not a healthy way to live. That's you living in vengeance, living in resentment, living in jealousy, living in, with contempt. Those things don't support you. So that's what I wanted to bring up today and just have you think. And like, hope means helping each other. Hope means recognizing there's value in what's happening. Hope means maybe it's your time to shine. Maybe it's your turn to step up and stand out and say, hey, you know what? I am gonna, drop things off at the neighbors. Maybe I am going to, be that person. I don't know what it means for you, but bright side thinking is when you make a choice to celebrate what you can. It doesn't mean you celebrate the coronavirus, but you celebrate what you can. It's your opportunity to learn. It's your opportunity to make a difference. I mean, I made a difference in that kid's life, regardless of, of it was only for a second, but that second could be really important. Who knows what's happening in his life? Who knows where things are going? And if we can extend ourselves in a way that is safe and or that we feel safe and comfortable and we're not infringing on other people, should we do that? Should we provide hope and should we be stronger together? Or should we be watchful? Should we be the spies that are trying to find the negative? I want to be the spy that tries to find the good. I want to be the person that says, hey, let's celebrate so and so for doing this. Or, hey, I know so and so's hurting. Let's bring them some food. Or, can we make something for you? Can we send, pizza over? Can we do something? So, I want to encourage you to be that hope dealer. I want to encourage you to find the bright side of what you can do or have done with the time or energy that you've got. I want to encourage you to be the person that be the change, right? Be the change that we want to see in the world. Be the change that says, I'm here. I'm ready, and I'm not going to let go of anger. I'm not going to give way to anger and resentment and frustration. But when I know someone else is hurting, I'm going to see what I can do to help. And again, that doesn't mean you have to violate any social distancing laws. Like I said, depending on where you live, there are lots of different options. Like I said, just and being respectful of other people, but honoring yourself at the same time. That's our best way to become the best version of ourselves. Now, I hope you guys have enjoyed the broadcast today. Like I said, I'm going to try this week and go on in the mornings and see if that serves you guys better. And we'll try and figure out how to get the other Facebook platforms up and operating. But I appreciate you guys being here and recognizing that value. Ashley says we're all in this together. We have to help each other in order to move through this. Right. I believe it, Ashley, that again, we have a chance right now to show those neighbors who have been, do you guys know who, put a 2 in the chat box if you know who Mrs. Kravitz is. I always talk about her. Put a 2 in the chat box if you know who Mrs. Kravitz is. She was from Bewitched a long time ago. She was the neighbor that was always looking out the window and finding something to report or to call the police on. My sister has that neighbor, and it's super sad, right? I have these really great neighbors, but if I lived in that neighborhood and I saw Mrs. Kravitz doing something and she had been making my life miserable, I might be tempted to give a phone call, right? Because that's what the world says. Let's just get her back. This is our time to get her back, right? That's what the world says. But I want to encourage you to not be like the world. I want to encourage you to be the best version of yourself and say, hey, is that supporting me? If you haven't read my book called Evict the Bully in Your Head, I highly recommend it. Because it talks about the bullies, right? For instance, resentment, fear, doubt, and shame, I always say are the big three. But they have so many bully buddies. As a matter of fact, there's a whole chapter on the bully buddies and who they are and how they're related and how they gang up and they do what I call a bully brigade. Once you let one bully into your head, they all keep wandering through, right? They keep coming in and they keep causing grief. And we have to evict the bullies and engage the headspace heroes like confidence and courage, empathy, love, peace, joy. We need to give the headspace heroes the room to move in, clear out, I call it cleaning the canvas. They got to get rid of all the stench of the bullies and start becoming, and helping you to become the best version of yourself. They need to put up positive affirmations in your brain. So when you see things that you think of, how can I help? Not, I'm so mad. Now, I'm not saying you're not going to get mad. I get frustrated at some of the things that are going on. And like I said, for me, I believe California's governor is completely overreached. And now the city of LA, Garcetti has, like I said, he seems to be. I heard him make a weird comment the other day. You're allowed to touch, or like not say touch, but you're allowed to be on the wet sand, but not the dry sand. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that I think what he was saying is you can walk along the beach at the waterline, but I don't know if he doesn't want you walking on the beach, the dry, or he didn't want you to lay out. I wasn't quite sure, but it was so obscure that I got frustrated at first, but I wanted to flip that around and say, I wonder if something is wrong. Or I wonder if he just feels like he's under so much pressure. And like I said, I want to go bright side and I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I wonder if he's just so worried about the people that he's making decisions that don't quite make sense. And so if we give him the benefit of the doubt for a moment and say, okay, maybe we can help him, maybe the attitudes of the people are what's, causing part of it. Hey, 24, that part of the attitudes of the people are causing this difficulty. So maybe if we change our attitudes, maybe if we change our perspective, maybe if we change the way we're delivering a message, it might help. It may not. And like I said, we may have to resort to other things or, things that are legal and within the guidelines of, protests and that kind of thing. But maybe if we try the empathy measure. Now, people that have turned into megalomaniacs and have decided that they're going to run things the way they want to run them, regardless of what the people think, we have opportunities, we have options. That's the way our Constitution was written. So let's try and use empathy. Let's try and use the headspace heroes of confidence and courage and love, joy, peace, kindness, right? And empathy. Let's go have empathy be our go-to because that it creates hope, right? And hope is also one of the headspace heroes. So I really encourage you to do that. I hope you found this message positive, uplifting, and an opportunity for you to recognize your own value. I hope you'll share this out so we can give maybe some more positive messages to other people and help them recognize, like I said, the bully in your head is not serving you. Resentment, fear, anger, shame, doubt, those things don't serve you. They don't help you. They don't encourage or motivate you. Yet hope, there's my little sign right there, hope does. Hope provides us what we need for next action. Hope says to us things are going to get better. Hope says we have neighbors that will help us. Hope says that somebody will pick up your child if they fall or that you can, pick them up and dust them off, that we can show kindness and consideration and care for others. And hope that Mrs. Kravitz doesn't call the police on you for being kind. But let's try it. Let's try that method. And see if it works for us. Okay. So I appreciate you guys being here again. If you have not hit the share button, please do. If you haven't gone to my website, I'd love to connect you with you guys offline because I have to admit, after being in Facebook jail for several days for not doing anything wrong, I didn't do anything wrong. I think I was being censored. I'm pretty sure. But that it reminds me that the only way I can connect with you guys if social media shuts us down is via email. So if you guys are not on my email list right now, I'm putting my email in here.com, VickiFitch.com. You guys can sign up for my newsletter list. And and hopefully we can stay connected and, and you, like I said, we can enjoy being together as, as a family, and I'll give you tips and positive affirmations and things just to think about. So anyway, I really do appreciate you guys being here. I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. And don't forget, by the way, the Do You Neo broadcast tomorrow night. Let me put that in here too. doyouneo.com/register. If you get registered, you can actually win some extra prizes. Anybody can come. You can share the message out. But if you're registered, you actually can get some extra prizes. And it's Do You Neo stands for Need Extra Opportunities. Are you looking to earn a little extra money right now? Are you looking to maybe develop your skill set or get better at something, whether it's through COVID or beyond? Just come and join us. It's free for you. I got a great guest tomorrow, Mr. Darnell Self. It's the title of the broadcast is From Mall Worker to Millionaire Maker. Not only is he a millionaire, because tomorrow happens to be National Be a Millionaire Day. And so Darnell is going to share with us how he went from getting his car repossessed all the way to not only being a millionaire himself, but helping many other people to become millionaires as well. And I love Jim Rohn's quote about it's really not becoming the millionaire, it's the process of becoming it that is what the true value is. It's the way you start to deliver your message, the way you live your life, those kind of things. So it's not about the money, money, money. Money is certainly helpful, and we all are, most of us are probably in need of it right now, or at least hoping to not have the rest of our income stream cut off. But just knowing that there are other opportunities, and this is still the United States. If you guys are listening from abroad, at least here in the US, we have lots of options. So I hope that you guys will, I hope you'll come and check out the Do You Neo broadcast. I hope I see you tomorrow here on this broadcast. And until next time, I want to remind you, like I always do, to dream it, believe it, and achieve it. Ciao. And I'll see you guys tomorrow and Wednesday. Don't forget Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific.